Hey, folks, it's time for the quote of the day, and I'm not going to lie, this one's going to be a roller coaster of grief and anger. And if you'll come with me on it, I hope that you'll get something out of it. Today, um, it's a sad day for me because I'm going to be quoting Hayden Panettiere. As many of you, I'm sure most of you, if not everyone, knows, she passed away just a few days ago on August 16th. Um, Now, I'm not going to lie, when she passed away, I wasn't thinking about quoting her on her birthday. I I know her career. I know her very well. I've actually met her, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But she's just not somebody that I thought, well, I'm going to find a trove of information. She's 36 years old. She was someone who had lived a life, of seeming, leisure and fame and so on and so forth. And so a lot of times when you have someone like that, there's not a lot of depth, at least not, on their outward facing, not in quotes and things like that. But this is a woman that struggled, right? She had severe struggles, and one of those struggles, more than likely, if the rumors are in any way, shape, or form to be believed, may have led to an early exit from this planet. And the more I thought about it, the more I dug into it, and then I found something. I found something that I knew folks could hear and everybody could get something out of, and people would appreciate. And hopefully, through this quote, and she has a few others as well, but through this quote, you'll find a new appreciation for her as well. Now, why do I say that this is going to be a roller coaster of anger and grief? Well, I think the grief is pretty self explanatory. Um, but before we get too far into the quote and things like that, I wanted to talk about the anger part of it and why I'm angry. Um, First of all, like I said, I met her. This was many years ago. This is when she just started doing Heroes, and everybody was walking around talking about saving the cheerleader and stuff like that. She had been an attendee at a convention. I don't remember which convention it was. And me and my friend had met her. We waited. It wasn't that long of a line, actually. She wasn't really that popular at the time. The show hadn't really caught on just yet. People knew who she was, but most people thought of her as just this little hot blonde, right? But I had seen, like, I was a Heroes fan, and I had seen, I think, like two or three episodes, and I was like, man, she's awesome. Like, she's the fucking cheerleader, right? And so when I met her, I wouldn't say I was starstruck, but I was struck by how warm she was. She was very kind. And I'm 14 years her elder, not an old man by her standards, but at the same time, definitely an older guy at that point in time. And she was still really kind to me. There's a lot of older dudes in the line of the convention that were, those kind of creepy dudes that were, and she wasn't, it didn't bother her as much. It bothered her mother, who I met her as well. I actually talked to her mother for quite a bit of time. But it bothered her mother quite a bit, but it didn't bother her. She was just like, well, they're fans. They're fans. Because I talked to her about it. I was like, isn't that weird? Like, this is kind of creepy, isn't it? Because, like, there weren't a lot of girls there to get her autograph. It was all older dudes. And I just remember, and I still have her autograph on a T-shirt. It's a T-shirt of her, like a drawing of her, and I have that somewhere. It's in a case somewhere, but I didn't want to pull it out for this. But the anger really comes from thinking about that moment, and then hearing the news, and the family is immediately asking for privacy, asking for just kindness at the very least. And immediately there's just conspiracy theories, like, yeah, just constant. Like, that's all I've heard since the day she died. Every time I see anything about her, it's some conspiracy theory. Immediately you have anti-vaxxers. Oh, well, she got the jab, right? Did she get the jab? She died because of the jab. She got heart attack because of the jab. And then people are, well, she spoke up about the dark secrets of Hollywood. She was ready to tell the truth, and now they had her. She's only 36. I don't understand. I don't understand why people take something like this, and a tragedy like this, something that we know happens to everyday people, something that we know happens in people's families. People, again, now we don't know yet, it hasn't been confirmed, but people die of overdoses all the time. This is something that happens. People die of cardiac arrest due to an overdose all the time. And that is the presumed, cause of this. Now, we know she had issues. We know she had problems with substances. Like, this is well documented. She talked about it. And I think that it's so fucking disgusting. It honestly, it disgusts me the way that so many people jump to conspiratorial way of thinking to explain something that we know there's a reason for it, right? Like, we can understand there's a reason for it. It pisses me off. It pisses me off to no end. Now, I had to get that out when I talk about her, because it is sad. It's tough to deal with. It's tough to come to terms with, right? Like, she's a beautiful, talented, just kind, like, loving person. That somebody that spent a lot of her time when she was in the spotlight talking about different causes, trying to help people. I don't really like the fact that she sided with PETA, because they suck. But other than that, like, that's not a judgment on her. That's just, she saw it as a means to an end because she cared about animals, something that is near and dear to my heart as well. And I think about her. I think about the fact that she was a mother. I think about the fact that she suffered through multiple abusive relationships. And I just, like, her whole life, despite her fame, despite her money, despite her beauty, despite all of these things, you know, she's just sad. She was a sad character, I guess you could say. Somebody that we will now look at and we'll say, oh, look at what she had, look at what she could have been, look at what could have happened, right? And instead, now she is like so many others that have come before her that just flamed out because of substance abuse. And I think that it's important, it's an important lesson. It's something that everybody should take to heart. And I think that, I don't know. I just, it hurts to think about somebody so young, so talented, so gifted, that just couldn't make it, right? Just couldn't get through it. Anyway, her quote of the day actually comes from an interview that she did just a few months ago. I think it was 2 months ago, actually. Um, it is powerful. It's powerful. And so I just want you to think about it, and I want you to remember her, and I want you to think about your own life when you hear this. Hayden Panettiere said in an interview, "I'm a work in progress. We all are. I take each day as it comes. I'm doing the work, and I'm doing my best." Let me read that again. I'm a work in progress. We all are. I take each day as it comes. I'm doing the work, and I'm doing my best. Now, that last part right there, it's such a simple line. We've all said it, but it's important to understand. She was doing her best. Now, we're still waiting for the results. We still don't know exactly what the assumption is: an overdose and cardiac arrest brought on by overdose. But she was doing her best. And as painful as it is to say it, her best led her to where she is. Now, it's not to say that that's a bad thing. That's not a judgment in any way. This is the weight of life. This is what we go through. This is what each and every one of us is struggling with, is that weight. And we do our best. We struggle, we fight, we claw to try to get over each hill every goddamn day. And she couldn't do it that day, right? The substances, the desire, it got the best of her. The addiction got the best of her. But she was trying. It's a sad, sad thing to talk about. And I don't like it. But it's still so fresh and it hurts so much. But it's her birthday today. She would have been 37 years old. And I just wanted to bring light to her one more time before we let her go. Happy birthday, Hayden. We're all a work in progress. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. I'll talk to you soon.